Well, hello. Well, we will start with the next keynote speech. As I mentioned, the next keynote speech will be Jorge Rivera Staff. And Jorge will talk about energy integration in the Central American region. Why the energy integration in the Central American region? Because probably the process in the Central American region about integration is more advanced integrated markets in the Latin American region. There are other initiatives. We have the Central American integration. We have the initiative of the Andean countries, that is the CIFNEA initiative for the integration of the Andean countries. We have TIESUR, that is the integration process for the Southern Cone countries. And another initiative, Arco Norte, that is the north of Brazil and the Guyanas. But, well, I believe that the more developed initiative about energy integration with some great advances about energy integration is the Central American market. And Jorge, my friend, because we met when Jorge was the Secretary of Energy of Panama. After that, Jorge was the Minister of Commerce, the Secretary of Commerce of Panama, also. And Jorge was an articulator, a leader of one of the countries that is part of the Central American integration. We also have Irene. Irene was Vice Minister. Irene Cañas was Vice Minister of Costa Rica and President of ICE, that is the utility company of Costa Rica, and Irene was another leader of the energy integration in the Central American countries. Welcome, Jorge. We planned to have you here, but you had problems with your connection, overbooked flights, and that kind of problems during this season. And welcome. It's a pleasure to have you virtually.
Thank you, Alfonso. I just want to confirm that you can hear me okay?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alfonso and Rebecca, and all the team at the Inter-American Dialogue, and all the participants there in the room, and of course virtually. It's a pleasure to share some ideas about our integration processes in Central America. First, well, it's a pleasure to be here. I want to take the timing here to comply with that. It's a pleasure to be here with you today to share some insights into one of the most transformative and collaborative energy projects, not only in Latin America, but in the world, the Central American Regional Electricity Market, or MER. Over the next 15 minutes, I would like to walk you through 3 key stages of this initiative: how it started, where it stands today, and where it's headed. And most importantly, I will highlight the tangible benefits it has brought and will continue to bring to the region. But first, I would like to begin making a couple of questions to all of us, taking into account the theme of this conference: energy and geopolitical realignment in the Americas. No? Taking into account what is geopolitics. At the end, it's politics in the global dimension. No? I invite you to pause for a moment and think, why are we here this morning? No? And I will bring back this question at the end of my speech. I want to share with you a concern. In recent months, there are moments when we ask ourselves, what is happening? A kind of deja vu sensation, very similar to the first months of 2020, in which with the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, the feeling was like walking every day in an uncharted territory. Now, I don't know if you remember that and you have some similar feelings or sensations right now. In my case, for example, as energy minister in my country, I remember that in April the 20th, just exactly 5 years ago, with 2 days of difference, we even had negative WTI oil prices for several hours. And during those hours, we all thought, well, what else could happen? We are having negative energy prices. We are in times of great uncertainty. That's a key word that we keep hearing and talking about, uncertainty. It's the spirit of the times. And this status is the result of political decisions based on ideological visions of the society and the world. So, has been in the past. The Central American integration process is the result also of political decisions complemented by technical means. Let's begin with a bit of a background. I'm talking about our integration process in Central America. As I said, it began with political will and the approval of an international treaty that created 3 regional entities: a regional regulator, a system operator, and a transmission company, with independence under the concept of supranationality and transfer of sovereignty of the countries toward this entity. This is key and has made a big difference compared to the other electrical interconnection projects around the world. The regional regulator approves a standard, a rule, and it's almost immediately applicable to the agents of the countries. Likewise, the instructions of the system operator are executed by the system operator of each country. And not only in the operation, increasingly, regional criteria are inserted in the planning of each country for its energy sector. For example, in my country, Panama, if you're going to develop a generation plant or a new transmission substation, in the electrical studies that you have to perform and deliver to the authorities, you must incorporate regional criteria. The MER, this regional electric market, is the result of a long-term vision and political will for regional integration. At the heart is CIEPAC, the Central American Electrical Interconnection System, a 1,800-kilometer transmission line, a $500 million infrastructure that connects 6 countries: Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. This infrastructure is managed by EPR. It's a company owned, it's a transmission company that's owned by transmission companies of the 6 countries that I mentioned, and 3 extra-regional shareholders: Endesa from Spain, ISA from Colombia, and the CFE from Mexico. The company that operates this regional grid, and it was designed to facilitate electricity exchanges and create unified competitive electricity market. When the MER was formally launched in the early 2000s, the objectives were clear: to improve energy security, reduce cost, improve investment, and most importantly, to foster regional cooperation. But how are we now? Fast forward to today, and the MER is not just an idea, it's a working system. Over the past decade, we've seen steady growth in regional electricity transactions. Countries with surplus energy can now sell to neighbors with higher demand or generation shortfalls. In this period, 28,000 gigawatt hours of energy with our estimated value of $2.7 billion was traded. In 2023 alone, cross-border transactions exceeded 2,500 gigawatt hours. It's like around 4% of all the generation in the region, with more than 30 market agents participating in auctions and bilateral contracts. Another important win, the market, as we have designed and implemented, has encouraged cleaner energy use. Over 65% of the energy traded regionally today come from renewable sources, hydro, solar, wind, and geothermal. And what does that mean for the bottom line? It means lower cost. The MER has helped drive down electricity prices by allowing countries to tap into cheaper generation options outside their borders. Thanks to the regional electricity market, Central American countries have managed to reduce electricity costs compared to a scenario without integration. Technical studies and operational data estimate that without the MER, the cost of electricity generation in the region will be between 15 and 25% higher, especially in times of energy scarcity or crisis. Certain analysis suggests that this process and this interconnection have represented around 1.5% of additional regional GDP. The existence of a regional market allows countries to access energy from their neighbors when their own costs are high, optimizing the use of resources such as hydroelectric, geothermal, or solar surplus, as I mentioned before. These are real benefits for the region. These are not just abstract numbers. The benefits are real and measurable. Electricity imports during droughts or outages have prevented blackouts and ensured grid stability. Smaller economies have gained access to a more competitive energy landscape. Private investors have responded positively, contributing to the expansion of renewable projects and interconnection infrastructure. In essence, the MER has helped create a more affordable, resilient, dynamic, and sustainable energy system. But what is ahead? The MER, of course, has still enormous untapped potential. In the coming years, we expect to see greater integration beyond Central America, upgrading our current Guatemala-Mexico connection, that it's a bilateral connection to the north, and building the Panama-Colombia connection to the south. We expect to have, of course, technological innovation from AI-powered forecasting to smart grids and blockchain for energy traceability. More energy storage to manage intermittency from renewables and improve grid flexibility. But with that comes responsibility. The region must work together to, in the first time, to bring back Guatemala to the treaty. If you don't know, we have this 30 years of history of the treaty, of this regional treaty for the market and the development of all this infrastructure and this market. But a couple of years ago, Guatemala decided as a country, as the government, to pull back from the market. The treaty has a process to do that, to unplug from the market, to use an electrical term. And this term, this period, especially is used to help us to make them review that decision. There's a new government in Guatemala, and we're working as a region on that. We also have to upgrade regulatory frameworks, update the treaty, and we are doing that. And finally, enable long-term PPAs. We have to strengthen regional institutions on the individual level and the coordination between this regional institution and the national institution and stakeholders. And additional investments in upgrading regional and national transmission capacity, especially as demand grows and climate change increases the risk of extreme weather. To close, the MER is more than a power grid. It's a symbol of what can be achieved when countries come together with a shared purpose. We must take into account an important point that is usually avoided because we focus on what is missing, not in what we just achieved. The progress of this kind of integration projects and processes is measured in decades, not in years. Through the MER, countries have managed to coordinate electricity dispatch, exchange energy efficiently, and advance in shared energy transition. This collaboration has produced tangible economic benefits for citizens, as we have seen in these remarks. Reduced generation cost, greater stability of supply, access to cheaper energy at critical times, and better use of the region's renewable resources. It demonstrates that technical and political discussions can be translated into concrete solutions and real improvements in the quality of life. It has made our energy systems more secure, more sustainable, more efficient. And as we face a global energy transition, regional integration is not an option, it's a strategic imperative. In these times of global uncertainty and geopolitical tensions, the Central American electricity integration process, think about it, 6 small countries with great challenges and very few resources has managed to show the world beneficial results for its citizens for more than 2 decades based on collaboration and will undoubtedly continue to do so more and more broadly. I would like to conclude these ideas as I began by asking ourselves again, why are we here this morning? We are here because, just as we have seen, the electricity integration is a reality. So this morning, we are together reinforcing our conviction that imposition or superiority of the strongest is not the way to go. That is through the power of dialogue, communication, collaboration, and the rule of law that we will achieve well-being for our societies in the Americas and in the world. Let's continue building on this momentum. Let's work together to unlock the full potential of our region future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jorge. It's a real pleasure to have you with this keynote speech. As Jorge mentioned, the Central American integration process is part of the development of the Central American countries and is part of the cost-effective electrical system for Central American countries. It's a demonstration that an integrated energy markets could support the development of the countries with a low cost energy, but in addition has a lot of externalities regarding the integration. And there are some next steps for the Central American integration to increase the capacity of the system. There are a lot of challenges